Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live SEO Q&A session with Mr. Chris Palmer. We have young Charlie here. He wants to be a YouTuber, so he's making his first live YouTube appearance.
Nice.
The sponsor is Niche Website Builders, guys. Check them out. They do complete, done-for-you affiliate website builds and everything in between. So if you want just content done, you can just get the content done. Whatever you need, check them out. They've got a whole.
That's because
bunch.
I like Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man. And Joe has said, "Hey, Spider-Man." So say hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
This might get his new followers, Chris. We should just bring our kids on and
bring the little guys. Yeah.
That's what I am. I am a YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber.
Ah, yes, you are. Absolutely.
I told them to subscribe to my channel, but they don't even work. But that's why they don't even do it.
Yeah.
Well, what's the channel name? You gotta tell them.
I was trying to tell them I was telling them to subscribe after they found me.
If they found them. But how do they find you?
With the iPad when you record something, but don't even, because it's a red sign, and you press it, and then it goes on to small mode, and then you actually have to hide before they found you. Then I come back up and they will, they won't even know, and then they actually record it, and then I listen to it, and then press it off, and then that's how you be a real YouTuber.
That's you. That is you. But anyway,
awesome.
Your mummy. He's going for a haircut.
Nice. You know the Scott, like the what's it called? Like the accent from Scotland sounds too adorable. Dude, that's too much.
Man. David Dennison is here. Good to see you, David. Hassan Wali. David Dennison saying his little accent is so
I know.
Good. Yeah.
Too adorable. It wouldn't take long for him. 0 to 100K poof overnight.
Do Spider-Man video game. Nerdy, I can't play any more of that shit. It kills me. But he is a little star. Merry Christmas, Mark Lawrence, and Happy New Year. To Chris and Charlie. What about me?
Yeah.
That's nice, Laurie.
Come on, Mark.
Nice. Dude is dropping knowledge bombs. He will be soon. And David Pollard. Keep him on. Who knows what he's talking about. And David Dennison says he misses me. What a funny guy David Dennison is. I met him in Nashville.
Yeah. Nice.
Fun character. I think you'd get on well with David. Chris, he's a bit crazy as well.
Is he?
He's a crazy guy. Chris is also crazy, David. Not you, your son, Nerd of the Merrill. But we are here to answer questions, guys. Any SEO questions, put them in the chat, and we will answer as many as we possibly can.
CCC, yeah. Triple C.
Yeah. Triple C. But his initials are CC as well, so just make it quadruple C. CC and CC.
CC show. I love it. Good for. Well, what's new, man?
Not a lot. I was allegedly going to do a lot of work between Christmas and New Year and done jack shit, dude. Jack shit. Didn't even open my emails until yesterday.
I love it.
And I literally had 3-4 hours of cleaning up just garbage. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did a little bit of work. It's been fun. What'd you do for New Year's? Anything or not? Just another day, right?
Stayed at home and chilled with the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Me and the wife are not into boozing so much. Just the quiet one at home. And just played around with a little guy, and
That's
had
what
some
I did.
family round on the New Year's Day for dinner. That was it. So New Year's always quiet. I can't be bothered. I've been there, done it. The whole party thing, going out, struggling to get a cab home. It's just a fucking nightmare. So quiet one at home.
Yep, that's what I did. Stay home.
Old.
I got Chinese food.
Chinese food.
Yes.
Talking of Chinese food, I'm pretty sure it was Chinese food that David Dennison got in Nashville. He got a whole bunch of food anyway. We went to someone's room, and David was already boozed up, and ordered a whole bunch of Chinese or whatever garbage it was, and it stunk the room out. But Crazy SEO's Mastermind coming October 2023. Are we invited, David? What the hell?
Yeah, let's do it.
David's in Vegas, actually, so Vegas is a cool place. I need to get my ass back to Vegas.
Yeah, I think that's the spot. I think if you're going to do one, but that would be, what do you think? I think Vegas is the spot. No?
I personally, I love Vegas. I like gambling. I like casinos. I like the whole lights, and I've seen Vegas a million times on TV, so it's like being in the.
It's intense.
Yeah,
it's sensory overload.
It's a big thing for me. It's probably not so big over there for Americans, but for me, Vegas is the weather's amazing. It's just brilliant. So
yeah, the weather is nice. I didn't take that into consideration. It was nice every night. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
you can walk around. It's nice.
It depends when you go. Like, I went to Vegas, I think it was a September or October, and it was still like 35 degrees. It was warm, like really warm for me. And I loved it, man.
35 is warm for you?
Yeah.
You're a man, dude. 35 is warm?
No, that means that's like 80 or 90 Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, that's fair.
No, that's warm, dude. Come on, man.
But 35 degrees, no way.
Oh, no. But New York, Joe Marich suggests New York. So here's the thing, right? And we keep getting asked, and obviously Andy and Chris were in Dallas, and we spoke about it, and where's the best masterminds to go to, or the best events to go to.
Yep.
And we should maybe hold one ourselves and do something, whether it's New York or whatever. New York's easy enough for me to get to from Glasgow, so it's at the easier part of America. I think we can be there in 5-6 hours. So
I've been still talking to him about that. I got a sponsor.
He was messaging me, asking me about events to go to and stuff. But for Andy in particular, I'm trying to figure out what he would benefit from.
Right.
Yeah, so I think he would, maybe putting on an event would be the better option.
That would be awesome. Where would you go? I like this beach idea, but I don't like being hot though, really. I want to, I don't want to go swimming and get like sand on me and stuff, but I like looking at the beach. You know what I'm saying?
You can stand under a canopy. I want to get lying about in the sand and get in the water and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Dude, man, come on.
I like to go to I'll go with Chris, but then I like to go get like a deluxe hotel that's off the beach, so that way it's not like $600 a night for like a little room.
Yeah.
Then, the nice pool. Yeah, man. It's not like go to the beach, swim in the pool.
Joe is also saying or Croatia in Europe, but I think the bigger audience is out there in America. That's the place to go. Even if you had it in Florida or whatever, it really doesn't matter. As long as there's sunshine, I'm there. But
Vegas. But where would you, out of all the places you've been, where do you think would be the best? Vegas? It's just because of the atmosphere and all the rooms and how cool it would be.
Yeah, I think Vegas for me.
There's all the amenities. It's easy to get into, like fly in. Yeah.
Yeah. Fly straight in. I can get there pretty easy. It's only 10 hours. Like for me to get to certain parts of America, I've got to fly, stop off, and jump another flight to like mid-America. So Vegas is even though it's far, obviously it's on the west coast of America, it's actually easier for me to be getting to. I will also be there, Joe. The Arizona Spring Training by Terry Samuels. Yeah, that should be a good event. I quite like the smaller mastermindy type events, and yeah, but I think Vegas for me, if I had any input on it, it's one of my preferred favorites.
Vegas.
But David Dennison is thinking about trying to get an SEO cruise together, like a 4-short day.
4-day cruise. That'd be kind of cool. I wonder if they let you do that though. I've been on a couple cruises. There's definitely enough room.
Yeah.
The rooms don't have any room, but there's enough room now,
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling those rooms though.
And I'm going to Austin as well. Yes, I will be in Austin. I'm going to spring training, then I'll go to Austin, catch 2 with one stone. And I think I'll be bringing my family to America at that point as well and just make it a holiday. We've not had a holiday. It seems embarrassing to say. People say when I say I've not had a holiday and I travel a lot for work, but I've not had a proper family holiday since April last year. So I think it's time for me to bring the family
It's been a
to
while.
there. So yeah,
You're
that's
due.
the plan. Anyway, questions. Alex is asking, one of my competitors has an internal link that has been broken due to typos. I bought the domain they link to right now, but wondering how best to go about it. What would you do in that instance, Chris?
Well, I mean, if it's they've only linked over once, I don't know. You might have jumped the gun there. I don't know how big of a market it is, but it's only a matter of time before maybe that gets fixed, I would think, right? It's only a little bit of time. Plus, as time progresses, that page might get further and further. I don't know the industry. I don't know all the factors, but I mean, it's just one site, one link,
Yeah.
No, you're going to run the whole site off of one link,
If you had a choice of 3, Chris, or 2, redirect to a relevant subpage on his website or build a website out on it just because it's got that one link, what would be your option?
I'd probably just set up the 302.
Yeah.
Set up a temporary and see what goes on, because you're just really trying to feed in it's not like it's going to be passing that much equity. Just pass that traffic over, send it into you, send it into the homepage, do a 302. Send it to the homepage. I mean, you'll still get a little bump probably, maybe depending on the site, but I would do 302.
What if this was like a do follow link from a high profile newspaper website? Would it still be the same answer?
It's only one. I mean, I would still, like, if it was something really crazy and it could generate a lot of crazy traffic, then maybe I might build something on it because that could be the jump start that you're looking for. But 9 times out of 10, I'm assuming if there was something really, really up there, they're going to fix it. So at some point, at least. So I think it would be the same answer, depending on what it was. Yeah. Like if it's something really cooking, like you're getting a lot of traffic where it could actually mean something, which I just couldn't fathom that. Then yeah, it would make sense to build out the site. But in this instance, it's just one link, even if it's a high, trust flow or DR or whatever you're looking at. Just 302 and send whatever little traffic that's trickling in to a relevant page on your site.
Alex is also asking, why would you redirect to the home page instead of the relevant subpage?
Well, if you have a hyper-specific relevant page, then yeah, send it to that page. But if I was just trying to get traffic and or potential link power, I'd want to send it into the homepage. Link power always trickles down. And then if like not every single user is going to be the same. So if your site is relatively the same, like you're selling the same kind of stuff, or maybe it's about the same exact thing, but maybe you have other options, I'd want to send them to the homepage so they can make their decision, because then they have access to everything. They could see everything. But if you have a hyper specific page, then yeah, send it to that page. Definitely.
Definitely. Guys, keep your questions coming. I know it's still holiday season and a lot of you might still not be working, but give us something to answer. But David Dennison saying you get a special pricing package for groups, just like hotels and whatnot. They even put rooms together. So, yeah, if there's a boat cruise type thing, depending on the dates and all that stuff, I could very much be interested for sure. I've never done a cruise. I've been on boats during the day at an event in Poland, but a cruise is yet to be experienced. So,
well, go Princess. Definitely upgrade the room as high as it'll go.
Yeah,
and pay for the water and the drink package. That's all I can. That's my best advice.
What, are you a big fan of cruises, Chris?
I've been on 3 cruises. And each one, like I tried Carnival, Norwegian, and then Princess. Like as I went up, and Princess is by far the best out of those 3 at least.
Yeah.
Like if I was taking little Chris, like if you wanted to like have fun, then Carnival's cool. But I think just like chilling, Princess. Yeah.
Cool.
In my opinion.
Nah, I've never been on a cruise full stop. I've never.
It's cool, dude. They lodge off and you'll stop at like 3 or 4 places, and then you could get off and wander into town. But they have a place like that's just to go into the tourist, but you can wander off, go to beaches and bars. It's really cool, like the Bahamas or wherever you're going. It's really fun. It's cool, man.
I'll definitely need to try one out sooner rather than later. I have a hyper specific relevant subpage, so you'll do the redirect. Thank you for the answers. No problem at all, sure. Alex. But guys, give us some questions, or I will revert to Chris Palmer, and he can grill me, or I can grill him. But we're here to help you guys. So any questions, doesn't matter what the topic is. No question is stupid. Please feel free to ask away. And also, let us know where you're from as well. Let us know if we've got any new year, new people joining us. CBD Flowers just got my first 302s.
Sweet.
Good one. How is all of that stuff going anyway, CBD Flowers? I'm assuming you're doing well with it. In a competitive space, but just curious, is business going strong in that niche? ZD Electrical, Chris, can I have the link for your GSA lists, please?
Sure. Got you. Definitely do, no problem.
The sites have aged. He's going to be hitting 3 sites. He's going to hit them hard soon. So, fair play. Mr. Clint Butler, they are versatile. Good to see you, Clint. Happy New Year and all of that stuff.
Good to see you.
All is good. David Dennison, why don't SEOs put more weight into page speed when it correlates directly with CRO?
Yeah, I think that at least for me and most of the people that I talk to, those are 2 wildly different skill sets. Most of the time, most of the people I talk to they're really strong in one aspect, whether it could be on page or specific types of SEO. Usually the guys that are really focused on CRO, that's what they do. That's their specialty, and they slack on the SEO side. I mean, you can get a good average of a lot of different skills, but yeah, speed as far as ranking is concerned, I know that as long as I'm not massively slower than the top performer, I'm not overly concerned. As far as CRO is concerned, I'd have to agree with that, depending on what you're pitching and selling. But I mean, as long as you're in line with the top performer, then you're in line with the top performer. I mean, they're going to get the same experience no matter where they go. So
yeah, I get your point, David, and I think people should, of course, put more weight into page speed. Some people are sloppy with it. That said, I think too many people over obsess with it. Is there a difference in 1.5 seconds and 1.2 seconds?
100 milliseconds.
So, I think people can't, on the flip side of what you're saying, people become over obsessed with it and they miss out on so many other things. Now, let's say, I don't know the answer to this. This is just a wild guess. But let's say page speed counts for 5% of your overall ranking factor. Why spend so much time obsessing over something that is going to give you a marginal gain? Now, 5% is just a figure I'm throwing out there, but it's certainly it's going to be there's more other factors that are important in terms of moving the needle, which I think a lot of SEOs do lean more heavily on. But I think it's good to have all round, everything, fast loading, CRO in place and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it should be ignored, and I think many people do ignore it. Clint is asking for you to link him into your GSA list as well, Chris. If you can ping Clint.
Yep, that's what I. That's exactly what I did.
Oh, did you do it already?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's a good email, dude.
Anyone else, by the way, if you want that list and you want the link,
services.chris.marketing,
because I can almost guarantee you, if you were to send Chris a message on Facebook asking for the link, by the way, this is a fucking true story, by the way, and I hope Mark Lawrence is still listening. Mark Lawrence told me, Chris, it was probably in the last 2 months that he emailed you over a year ago.
I remember.
And hand on heart, you replied like 2 months ago.
I must have been going through, yeah, maybe,
Dude,
a
year fucking later.
Yeah, I must have been just going through, just like hitting everybody, like, hey, sorry,
and
going through.
So, yeah, and hope you enjoyed it. ZD Electrical, we had Mark Mars on from Niche Website Builders yesterday, talking about tomb raiding SEO, leveraging keywords on an age domain. So good show. If you missed it, go and check it out. Mark gave his full tomb raiding SEO strategy away, so you can check that out. It was out yesterday. Camille, do you have any idea for programmatic SEO and AI content generation? Stuck between escorts and traveling, but looking for something that can generate results easier.
That's that last word. Every time, easier always means it's going to be harder. There's no, that is not. Anytime I think something's going to be easier, or I'm going to make things easier for me, the process to make it easy is very difficult. So with that being said, I think that's what auto-generating the content is very, very easy. The problem that what we're trying to tackle right now is how can I auto-generate bulk quickly that's going to be then optimized. It's the optimization and then doing it in bulk. But as far as like generating the content fast and easy, I mean, there is endless tools. Endless tools. I might go take a look at something like, I don't know. Isn't Phrase hooked up to GPT-3 now? That way I can yank in. I see this Neuron Writer is hooked up too. I can pretty fast for optimizations, and I think there's a lot of things you could do, my friend. What have you been looking at that too? I'm trying to generate, like, what we want to do is like, how can we just crank out 2,000 articles in one shot? Like, we want to set all the titles, set all the headers, set up the densities, right?
Yeah.
And then crank out all the articles all in one shot.
Yeah.
That's what we're working on.
I am trying out the one that you told me last week off here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a test website up and I'm doing some shit on it. So
Yep.
why not? And as Clint says, Python and a CSV
Yep.
can work for you.
Yeah, they had a really cool connection. We were running it off of Excel, but then on the longer form stuff, it would run errors, So we found a new solution. I'm just waiting for the guy to program it. That's what I'm waiting on. I can't wait. Yeah. That's what I
think in the coming months, once GPT-3 or GPT-4, is fully rolled out, I think a lot of the other tools will have it all plugged in and stuff. So it's going to be interesting times ahead, that's for sure. But I'm just fucking around with, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it out loud. Probably not going to say it out loud just now. But the one that you mentioned, Chris, I'm playing around with that just now. But I also have another website set up just to use Chat GPT as well. I'm just messing around to see what works, what sticks, what doesn't, how long it sticks for, and all that kind of stuff. So once I figure that out, then hopefully someone's made a cool tool to do it all for me. Guys like Clint there, the guys who understand Python and automation a hell of a lot better than me, are guys that I'm looking to, waiting for them to come out with stuff. But ZD Electrical, Chris, has a question for you. Do you host your buffer sites on WordPress or Duda, or even mix it up?
Well, lately a lot of the buffer sites have been cloud-based. So, cloud-based, it's going to be Amazon. Most of them are pretty much Amazon or cloud-based at this point. Actually, there's quite a few that are on like Microsoft too. So primarily focused on the cloud, and or Amazon services. Yeah, as far as like Duda, I had an account. I've had it. I'm not going to move everything. So I have my personal one up on Duda because I signed up for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So why not? That's it. And WordPress, it's not my favorite thing, but it's very easy to utilize. Yeah, not my fave though.
Hopefully that helps you, Dune. David Dennison wants to know your advice when it comes to Schema, Chris.
So when it comes to Schema, if you have the time and the budget, then I would take care of it. But first and foremost, I would take care of the basic essentials that the top performers have. I want to make sure that I have all of the basic schemas in place, right? I would want to make sure that as far as, making these massive lists, I've seen it help. I've seen it not help, right? So if you have the time and you have the budget and the patience, then go for it. But I would just make sure that you have the essentials first and foremost, really focusing on what enhancements can I get from this schema? Like, okay, FAQ, can I get stars to pop? Like, what are the enhancements? What's the benefit? And then also pay very, very close attention to, like, if you, let's say, for instance, you have customer reviews, building out those customer profiles within the schemas to make the entity association, I would focus on that. But as far as building out like these massive lists, like, no, I would be last for me. I hope that answers it for you, my friend.
There you go, David. Google rolled out new rules for CBD advertising. Positive news on your end. Glad to hear it.
Good.
As long as you are keeping your head above water, because I know it's a difficult niche and all that kind of stuff.
What sorry, what's these rules? Like in a numbered fashion, like, oh, this is different. Like, okay, there's this, there's this, there's this. I'm just curious. Because I've noticed when they implement certain filters, it might not be the same, but there's something else there that could be brought over to other markets. I'm just curious, what specifically are you noticing in that niche? I'm just curious. I'm not even in that niche. I'm just curious.
I'm not in it either. But yeah, curious to know if you can let us know, CBD. Also, David Dennison, regarding your schema stuff, digital year, Clint Butler is a beast when it comes to schema. Someone you might want to check out, but he's saying very white hat answer, schema for snippets, leaving a lot on the table. But would I be right in making the assumption, Chris, that schema is not just, it's just not your bag?
It's not necessarily my bag. No.
Yeah, I'm the same. I actually spoke to Clint when we're out in Dallas, and I will shoot you a message about that, Clint. You know, because Clint is big into schema and his schema courses and all sorts of stuff on it. And I've always sat in the fence with schema. I've got like about me schema and basic bullshit on there, some article schema, but I should be doing more. Just if there's more on the table, then I want all of that. So Clint is a legend when it comes to all that. So do check him out, David Dennison. Clint Butler, Digital Ear. He will be very easy to find. Mithun, what's the best way to find duplicate topic keywords in a large website with thousands of articles so that we won't duplicate the same article twice? What's the quick and easy way for you, Chris, to do that?
Find duplicate topic keywords. I mean, I'm generally not going to run into this if I've planned the website. I think the best thing, I wouldn't go looking unless there was a problem. I'm going to be straight up, but I would just look at the organic and see, am I fighting myself with two separate pages for the same keywords? I'd probably just go look in SEMrush. As far as setting up the site, I don't know. As far as setting up the website, I mean, I would try to make sure I'm not fighting with myself from the very beginning. But I'm not going out there trying to crank out, 10,000 pages all in the same exact topic. So, yeah, I'm just not.
Yeah. Nah, you obviously can't. You're going to run into cannibalization issues. But if you're inheriting that website, Mithun, I am not sure there's a quick, simple, easy way to do it. I think it's going to require a bit of sitting down for a few hours and sifting through the data and the tools that we use, and then you using your experience and stuff to map shit out, potentially prune some of the content, merge some articles together, whatever it might be, in order to clean that up. But there is no quick fix for that, unfortunately. Not that I'm aware of anyway.
Can we expand on this just a tad too? And this is always interesting. I've dealt with this, not thousands like this gentleman's asking, right? But, like say you'll have a client and I've created a top level page to target a specific keyword, right? And then I'll create some supporting content, and it will be fighting in the SERP. And there might be 2, sometimes 3 pages in the SERP, different pages in the same SERP. And then I'll cannibalization, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Diggity, for putting those videos out, because that caused a lot of havoc, right? I swear, like once his videos started coming out, I started getting like all these questions about it. I'm like, and this is what I always come to, is having 3 pages in the same SERP. How is that a problem?
It can be, if you've got that, Google's confused. If it's giving you 3, let's say, or in my experience, right, I've seen it happen with 2 mainly. I've had 2 pages that rank, and they normally sit at the top end of page 2. They don't go any further. If you redirect one to the other, normally one will pop higher up on page 1, but you just need to figure out which one is the one. That's the key thing. So does it harm you? I believe it does. I don't think you would go any higher than page 2. Well, I've not seen it go any higher than page 2. I've not, unless you're in a real niche, crappy market, you might get a number of positions on page 1 with the same domain name. But that is few and far between. But again, if that's in a niche market, why would it be a problem? So I get your point, if it's on a local level or, in a kind of niche market, but, in a competitive level, Google's not supposed to, give more than one URL a position in page 1. So
right.
It would be one or the other. And for me, if you've got 2 competing, it pulls you both. It pulls them down onto page 2. So
I could see that in a bigger, and then usually like that's something I have noticed is if I do get, like you just mentioned, like with the 301 or the retuning, like if I'm looking at a SERP, it is usually page 2. But what I've been noticing lately is Google nest the second, and it's showing us the winners. Have you seen that? And then usually I'll go in there and I'll detune the nest, and then the other one will pop. You're right. So that's interesting. Yeah. Google, they're funny.
And Mark Lawrence, I was honored he got a reply eventually. Talking about events, SEO on the beach and SEO mock stars are the ones for me. So SEO on the beach is a real event in Spain. Mark has decided to put up a website called SEO mock stars to pretend to his wife that he needs to go somewhere to an event just to escape the wife. And I'm not joking. SEOmockstars.com. Check it. I swear. There's a website on it.
Mario Kart, Coors Lights, knowledge bombs, and bath bombs.
So he threw that website up in an hour. So I hope Laura is not listening. Apologies, Laura, if you are. You had to find out somehow. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
How Kimosabi, is it price based? I can't remember what is price based. What you were asking again?
Get our new album now.
FAQ schema. Yes, FAQ schema, Joe. Export to post title. I think pages in the SERP will hurt the one page. Agreed. Less space for the competitors. Love it when that happens. I let things settle in the SERP, then beef one up.
Yep.
Ali Bablo. Hi, Craig and Chris. I'm Ali from Pakistan. I have a question to both of you. What suggestions and tips would you like to give us regarding to rank a new services website? What type of services? Like home services, SEO services?
That's I mean, that's a huge question, Ali, right? But I think one of the first things I would definitely do is figure out who's the top performer, what's the page structure, how many pages do they have? I'd start with that. That would be step one. Yeah. Then I'd be looking to see, okay, how many supporting pieces? I mean, I could go on for days with this one. That's a big question. Let's be a little bit more specific.
Yeah,
that's actually a huge question.
The services are, Ali, and we can point you slightly more in the right direction. Because you may only be covering a 40-mile radius of where you're based, if you're a plumber or a locksmith or something like that. So let us know. CBD Flowers is saying, soon as the advertising update appeared, Google console added merchant listings. I'm seeing if there's anything else there.
Merchant listings for CBD. Interesting.
Ted's volatility tool helps with that, but you have to run it a couple of days in a row to catch real issues consistently. Chris question. Thank you for the explanation. No problem, Mithun. Guys, we still have 20 minutes left, so keep the questions coming. Amazon services, Walmart, eBay, that is the type of services that Ali is looking to promote. So what suggestions and tips would you give from regarding that type of services?
So this sounds like a larger project, right? So
he basically went on to say you want to launch your services in the USA market regarding Amazon product launch, ranking, listing optimization, local SEO services, and eBay, etc. So you want to rank Amazon listings, you want to do local SEO, you want to do eBay listings and all that kind of stuff, which there's nothing wrong with, but
I see. So you're trying to rank Amazon products. Like you want to be a well, I would go look at those terms, right? So it sounds like Amazon consultant or Amazon SEO or Amazon product optimization or Amazon, right? Well, what are the keywords? What are the phrases? Once you know the keywords and the phrases for Amazon, I would go look at who's doing it, like who's doing it and actually getting traffic, who's winning. Make your list. Okay, this is the pages I need. Okay, this is how big they are. Here's how many links they have, right? That's that market. Then the problem with adding all this extras, then you have to go figure out, okay, who's doing it for eBay? All right, then who's doing it for Walmart? What I would do is I would line those up, see who the competitors are, see how many pages, see how many links you need. Like what do you need to actually compete? It's probably a really big bite, right? Like there's probably a lot of work there.
I mean, you're going to have to do that section by section, Chris, because even with Amazon, I've got a friend who does Amazon translation services and stuff as well. That is, there's a whole bunch of services within that alone. Before you start talking about local SEO services in eBay. Listing optimization, a whole bunch of people do. I know of them that do it. The Amazon translation, I know that. Rankings, again, all comes down to the product listing optimization. So I think you'd have to really do that section by section. Would you do it the same way, Chris, or would you go all out and just say, I do all of this, boom, 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 boom?
That's what I was getting to. I would figure out figure out each of the sections, and then where's your unique sales proposition? Where can you actually get in? Where can you beat their price? Where can you offer a better service? Where is there actually search volume? I would pick. There's probably a subsection in one of those categories that could actually turn into dollars for you. Pick a section, but niche it down. Because you're taking on, when it gets really big like that, then nothing ever flourishes. Focus your attention on one and then drive deep on one that you can turn into money right now, and then move on to the next thing. Trust me, that's what I do. Trust me, I tried that, man. Pick one, run with that, get it up and running, then move on. You'll be a lot better.
Yeah. Zune Health. Stop giving Chris a headache, guys. Doesn't look like he's enjoying those dead questions. Chris Goldsmith is commenting on the background, Chris.
Thank you.
I was talking about that off here with Chris. And Ali Bablo, I want to know what strategy on page and off page. I mean, content links, you have to look at the competition, use tools like POP, to figure things out and all that kind of stuff as well. So, look at the competition, what way they structure their content, what sort of information, what schema have they got on there. There's so much reverse engineering and research you can do. And obviously you're going to need backlinks on the back end of anything to rank well. So that is the basics of SEO is content and links and a whole bunch of other stuff in between, you know, your internal linking, your schema, your site speed, your CRO and all that stuff. But that is it in a nutshell. SEO is SEO, and just follow what's being rewarded by Google, as Chris always says, and use that as a template to move on and try and, you know, beat those guys that are in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick something though and run with that. Like, if you can be the best Amazon listing optimizer there is, that's what I would do. Focus on one and run.
Yeah.
Be the best at that, you know. And then if you get, you know, you get on really good and you can train 2 or 3 more, then move on. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best wishes. And if you need links, let me know. Whoa, new scene. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm trying different cameras, but the fuck me. I've got work to do in the cameras. I don't know if it's the way the lights are or something, but
do they ever I'm curious of this actually. Do they ever actually demonetize your videos for cursing?
No.
I didn't think so.
In fact,
it's like a buddy of mine. Yeah.
No, it happened recently. So because of some swear words, one did get demonetized recently, but I think that might be a new thing.
But it was early on in the video, probably like an F-bomb in the first 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have another buddy of mine. He does like a little podcast, and he swears the whole, like, it is way worse than what we'll do. And he never gets. It's like for NASCAR. He does like these NASCAR things. It's ridiculous. But he's cursing the whole time, screaming, yelling. He gets all kinds of crazy money off it. So, yeah. Okay, I was just curious.
But no problem.
Because if I slip in a video, I'll take the video down.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Come on, man.
Usually, yeah.
Now, most of the time, it works well. And David Dennison, I have got. This is the Mac specific camera. I've got the Insta360. I have got a Logitech C920. I've got a Sony A7. Dude, nothing fucking works properly, man. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing works.
The travesty is the A7.
The A7.
Yeah. I bought one of those, and I do not recommend an A7. Beautiful camera. It takes beautiful videos and beautiful photos. Don't get me wrong. But as far as for live streaming, after about 20 minutes, that sucker just shuts off. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? You're like recording stuff.
I'm going to try the Insta360 again.
Sweet.
Let's see what happens. Wait a second. I need to allow. And then settings. Boom. Nope. No boom. I'm going to do it another time. Fuck this. Not in a live show. Not good. Anyway, Camille, what do you think about doorway pages for the current state of SEO? Of course they work, but what about the risk of using them? Any ideas how to make it safer nowadays, or at least limit the risk?
Yeah, I run into this with some clients. I mean, you're planning out supporting pieces of content or the blog or however you want to look at it. You have your primary service pages. But, you know, when I'm looking for quick wins, like I'll send out a boatload of pages to get a nice spike of traffic, get a lot of people in the door. Like to hit all the little towns and all the little areas, and then I'll build supporting off of that. So if you're going to utilize them, yes, they work, but we don't know how long that timeline is going to be. But I've been hearing that since, I probably got on here in 2011. So I've been hearing like, oh, this stuff is going to stop working since then. And I doorway pages, keyword stuffing, all that stuff, like that stuff's been going away and being edited since I started messing around with SEO. So 2011, 12, 13, like I don't notice anything different. Slight things, like, hey, we got to count the entities. We need to know what LSI is. We need to optimize the headers. Like there's a few little things, but really not so much. I like that zoom. That one's a little bit different. The contrast is wild though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to play around with the settings, but this is the Insta.
It's clear though.
I think that's still, in fact, wait a minute, it's still got the wrapper on the lens. So, yeah, dude, I had to pick off this little thing off the lens.
Oh, so that's why I had that.
Yeah.
So it was clear with the thing on it.
Yeah. Henry, with only one legal business entity, one address, and one multiple project site planned, is it best to have a different phone number for each site? If so, what would you do to manage multiple phone numbers? Twilio, Henry, is one option, but
Twilio, Call Scaler. I mean, there is
a ton.
There's lots, yeah. You will definitely find a solution for yourself for each location. Make out your individual pages. I think having an individual number can be helpful, but you don't have to have it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's up to you.
Hopefully that helps you, Henry. Check out the Lumina AI-powered self-adjust the settings. I'll have a look. Lumina. This actually looks decent. To be fair, the Insta 360. So hopefully that's better than the 140p or whatever the Mac camera gives out. It is pretty garbage. Business growth ready. Love the dark room mode. Better than seeing this face, I guess, before anyone else says it. Keyword stuffing. Best to add sage and onion with any stuffing to beat Google spam tools.
Yes.
Coining new phrases, sage and onion.
Yes.
I think that's sage anyway. But yeah, just as Chris says, on that, Camille, I think a little bit more thought has to go into it, thinking about the longer term. Just try and do it better. Treat every little doorway page a little bit better than you previously did back in the day, and hopefully it remains untouched. But Chris, do you use the normal hyperlink in HTML, or do you do some kind of 301 PHP redirect or cloaking to avoid hurting the money website main page?
So about the doorway page. So if I have a doorway page or a page, am I utilizing some kind of 301 or a PHP redirect, cloaking to avoid? No, I generally will stack them and make them deep inside the structure. Or maybe I'm thinking of a doorway page differently than what you're thinking of. I don't know. But usually it's probably 3 or 4 levels deep. And it's usually going to be a town or a city or a specific area for a customer. Like let's say it's Houston. Let's say they're Houston Auto Body Shop. So we have Houston Auto Body Shop, and then they do their services. Inside of Houston, there might be other little communities. I'll build those pages out, but it's really just the Houston page where I swapped out information. It's just a template, a doorway page. Just to see. I'll usually launch 50 or 100 of them just to see, hey, which ones index really fast, which ones will actually start getting impressions. And then I'll usually kill the rest, and then I'll move on to the next area.
He wants the manual action hammer, says David Dennison.
I've had the manual action hammer multiple times. Numerous things.
But yeah, I was just playing around with some of the settings on here. It's got whiteboard on the Insta 360, but not sure what that does. But I'm quite impressed with the quality of the Insta 360, Chris.
I think it looks good. Let me see. Yeah, looks good.
You can see the grease in my beard, so
yeah, it looks good. What's the Insta? Is it inexpensive? Is it 4K?
Yeah, it's 4K, and it's like 300 or 400 quid.
Oh, so it's an inexpensive 4K camera.
Yeah,
it has a pretty good output once you adjust the light. Is that a dark room?
It is a dark room, but I've got all sorts of settings here, so I can increase the brightness, the contrast. So there's a lot of different saturation, and stuff that I can mess around with, and sharpness. How sharp do you want it to be? How much of my wrinkles do you really want to see?
Well, then it starts getting like the dots too. Like you can see the sweat glands on someone's head. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, it's not. We don't want it to be that good. But thank you, Camille. But yeah, I think I need to dig a little bit deeper and get I don't know if I'll settle with this, or I want something different. David got the 4K Brio for like $400. Worst waste of money I've ever spent. It's a hard one because I spent what was the price of the Sony A7 again, Chris? 2,700 or something.
It's like $2,700. Yeah.
Spent that on it, and as Chris says, it overheats after 20 minutes and just cuts out. So if you're doing a live stream for an hour, you're knackered. So not good for a £2,700 purchase.
Not at all. No, not for that. Well, they're not really made for what we're doing, you know. I was always curious. I went looking online to figure that out. Like, why do people always use the DSLRs? Most of the people said it's because of compatibility. Oh, the GoPro?
I've got the GoPro as well. Do you know what, Chris? Like everything I've got, that's the GoPro 10 as well. I've never used it.
You didn't test it yet.
I buy all this shit and never fucking use it. But I got the GoPro as well. I might try it out, as Dune says. And yes, it's the Insta 360 link. So it's just like a little webcam clips onto the top of the screen. So it's supposed to have AI. So if I was to move around, you can set it up so that it follows you if you are, moving around a lot. Probably more suitable for Chris than me. And yes, we need to create 4K camera comparison pages for every city in the USA, all in autopilot, and just clip the last 10 minutes of this video and shove it in there, and you're golden. But we do have time for another last question from Fruit Bat Cat. Late to the convo, but I think what you mean by doorway page isn't what people from years ago think of a scary doorway page. You actually put the comp relevant info on the page rather than just 301 it from unrelated for click revenue. So there you go. Fruit Bat Cat has an opinion. And good to see. Better late than never, Fruit Bat Cat. Connor O'Brien is here. Good to see you as well, Connor. Happy New Year, dudes. But we are nearly out of time, Chris. What is your schedule like for the rest of the week? Have you got anything up and coming?
I'm probably going to do a stream with another gentleman tonight. Mastermind tomorrow. And we're working. We're building sites. That's what I'm doing services. I have a few clients. I've gotten rid of a couple, but I'm just working, man. That's it.
Working away in the background.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. But guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you do check out Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. You'll find him. You can check out his mastermind, seomastermind.org.
Yes.
Or you can just go to his website, chrispowermarketing.com, and find out all of the stuff that Chris does on one of those sources. And please do check out Niche Website Builders as well. And we will be back at the same time next week. Hopefully, lots more questions. And yeah, keep up and make sure you have subscribed to this channel as well. It is very much appreciated. And we will catch you guys next week.
See you later.
Cheers,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.